Welcome in everybody to NJCAA Call of Duty. It's the last week of the MW3 regular season. We've got one more match before we begin our playoff action. My name's Kyla Grant, better known as Red Rogue, and I'm joining for you guys the first time today to watch some Gogebic Community College versus Laredo College. And what I said is their final matchup, and it's a little bit of polar opposite stories for these guys. Laredo College haven't dropped a game. As for Gogebic, they've only won one game, so it's going to be a heavy task for this MW3 best of 5. That's right. We are obviously still in the MW3 season as we conclude with these guys' collegiate seasons and prepare for BO6. A look at our maps, as I believe we have the players waiting in lobby. We will begin with 6-star Hardpoint, which is the Palominos map pick, and then we'll move on to Gogebic Community College's last two, Invasion Karachi, and then they also have Rio selected if we do require a map 4 and 5, and we'll begin how we ended if we go the whole distance to a 6-star SND. But yeah, to my understanding, we have the lobby created, and these players have been waiting for just a little bit, so they're probably very antsy to get things running. But it's just all about maybe getting everything upset and right for Gogebic as we head into the next season of BO6 and so on, whatever's in their future. And as for Laredo, they want to keep this streak running. They don't want to let off the gas a little bit too easy. They got to make sure, because it's important to be in flow state as you head into the playoffs or anything. Because if you lose a game before playoffs, you might not have the right momentum. I'm not sure exactly what our ETA is on the lobby, but folks, maybe we got to refresh the memory for, hey, how the heck does this game even work? What's Modern Warfare 3? Well, 6-star we saw as a late addition to the game cycle in the map pool, and it was a welcome one considering some of the other maps like Invasion's Hardpoint, which we will see in Search and Destroy. So 6-star, it's pretty straightforward. It has a lot of tight quarters. The spawns are not as heavily influential, so expect there to be a lot more gun engagement. That should probably favor a team that is as dominant in the league as Laredo. They might be able to have more gunfights. Invasion, Search, and Destroy, now that is also Gogebic's map pick. I'd imagine that maybe to favor them a little bit because it's a very tactical map. You just kind of got to outthink your opponent, especially in a game mode like Search and Destroy. But Invasion in general, you can play a couple of mind games there, especially in the late game. So maybe they can snatch some rounds, cause an upset, and then take that momentum into a Karachi control, we don't really know what it's like in BO6, but for MW3, completely chaotic. Because you always expect it to be a defensive favored in terms of control. But last year, it was just all Karachi that was heavily offensive favored, so that could be anything when we get to map 3. But we begin with Laredo in that tan yellow color, and Gogebic, the Samsons, in the green. It's going to be Adi who's going to be the first player inside, but he's going to get overzealous with the challenge, and already the kill feed is 4 down for the Samsons, and they're showing very quickly Laredo how dominant they are. But there's been a little bit of split spawn. You can see Ben has picked up one of them, but there's a pinch from Jesus. He's going to be able to come in through the backside, and I think they kind of know about it, Laredo. So you see all these yellow arrows are turned around multiple angles throughout the map. So currently Gogebic is in favor for map 2, but heck, they haven't even gotten a kill yet. Laredo is starting out strong. It's more specifically Ben. That dude's just off to a stellar start. However, enough. Oh, gets spun around, and Renetti comes in big for Dill. Rotations up, and it's the Palominos who are off to the races for P2. So a really great start so far from Laredo, and Gogebic, they're struggling to get a foothold in this one. Ben, he cannot be shut down. What's going to happen first? Is he going to run out of ammo, or is he going to get killed? Well, a little bit of a caster curse as his 8 streak is ended on that one. Ben got a little bit of a heat check, I guess you could say. Heal time going in for Palominos. Looks like Gogebic is trying to hit 4 from the front. This could work. Misa might have a pinch on the mini map. It looks like Gogebic have read it, but it doesn't matter too much. And now it's all down to Nuff. And Nuff said he's going to drop it. Now the rotation's on for Palominos. Wow, this is probably one of the most dominant starts I have ever seen to a 6-star hardpoint, maybe in the whole year of Modern Warfare 3. Gogebic finally going to get just 1 second on the clock. Goodness me, Laredo. We talked about getting good form heading into playoffs. Well, this is about as good as it can get so far to start off this best of 5. Diluvio is going to pick up a double before getting chopped down. Gogebic is now trying to play the rotation as we cross the 100-point mark. Ben on another killing spree. He already has that cruise missile in his back pocket. But somebody for Gogebic is going to have to get this ball rolling if you want to see any sort of a comeback, try to maybe survive a 100-point club at this point, because the bat pick for Palominos is obviously playing into their favor. Shift trying to hold this outer pool. He will get a kill, but he gets a player low. Nuff comes in through, but the trades are so far favoring the team with the spawns, and that's actually Gogebic. Gogebic are in through the back. Plump is going to get one. Misa, however, picks up a nasty double. His 5 streak will be cut down. And Palominos, they're holding these spawns off. Still, Gogebic, 1 point through 3 hills. How often do you say that? And once again, the rotations are in favor of Laredo. Next hill is about to pop. This is utter dominance, folks. I don't know what to tell you. If this is something that the Palominos do day in, day out, I'm excited to see what they can also bring to Black Ops 6, because these guys are just having their way right now. Misa, to see you later. Renetti, Rival 9, he's got it all. It's a full bag of tricks. And all gas, no break from Laredo. Misa now is taking those headlines from Ben. Ben 17-3, Misa 11-2, 8-3, Diluvo 14-3. Wow, these guys are just absolutely flying at the moment. Can they be stopped? Nuff will shut down Diluvo, but Gogebic, if I was these guys, just keep on hitting at the hill, try to stack up and play the trades. But after our first sets of rotations, it's almost a 200-point mark. It's going to be. The 200-point mark is going to... Wow, I mean, how often do you see the 200-point mark crossed off the first set of rotations? Well, Laredo have done that. They can actually win it on this hill, which is insane. Gogebic, do they have any sort of fight within them? It looks like, honestly, a hard no right now. Goodness me. The Palominos are coming out firing, and the Samsons are stuck in the water. They can't get out. They can't figure out what's happening right now. And, yeah, it's a little bit of BM coming through right now. 20 seconds remain from Laredo. Flump will get 1 kill, but that's just kind of the story. As soon as they get 1, it immediately gets traded out. Misa on another streak, 5 to his name. He's now at 19-5 as he gets shut down. And that's pretty much gonna be it. That's the most dominant hardpoint I have ever seen. Our final score, folks, 250-1. That's something. How often do you see that? Laredo, they mean business. Obviously, they're still very in tune with MW3, with BO6 being a couple of weeks old. They have not skipped a beat. Gogebic was just lifeless. I mean, that's impressive. 250-1, folks. That's a tough one to swallow for Gogebic. And now, what are you thinking as you head into this next map? How do you reset like that? You have to figure out some way to keep your team motivated. And this is going to come down to, what does the coaching staff look like? What does the leadership look like? How can we show that we have spine, strength? Remember, there is a little bit of a silver lining within this crazy storm from Laredo that, hey, you know what? It's our next two map picks. Actually, 3, excuse me. The next 3 maps are theirs. So who knows what we could be seeing? There could be some response. And like I said earlier, this is a map, Invasion, Search, and Destroy, where strategy is actually something that's more favored. And I kind of pointed out in the pregame, 6-star is a very straightforward map. You can get from P1 to P2 to P3. You can rotate very quickly. And we saw it there because Gogebic sometimes was rotating, sometimes trying to hit late, but it didn't matter because Laredo was able to just rotate very quickly to each hill when they had to. Yeah, I'm seeing some chats coming in through, and it's just a lot of shock right now. And that's I mean, 250-1, folks. That's that's honestly impressive in like a different form. And there's obviously a skill gap between these teams, but a 250 to 1 skill gap, that's something more. That's utter dominance. And it's so easy to get into this mindset of, okay, you know what? We're obviously winning this game. Let's just kind of troll and maybe have a little bit of fun, blah, blah, blah. We did see a little bit of it. We saw a finisher at the very end, but still, you have to be completely dialed in from second one all the way until that final tick. And that's impressive. So you obviously, any team that's looking to compete against Laredo, you have to worry. And remember, Laredo's lost a game, which is kind of, or excuse me, they haven't. I said that. They're 6-0 right now. The whole time I thought they had one loss. So yeah, they have dropped maps. They dropped 2 maps in this playoff or in this regular season in Group 2. So obviously there's a little bit of vulnerability somewhere, and it's just all about making sure that some of these other teams can maybe crack upon it when playoffs do commence. But if you're one of these teams that are probably going to have to face off against them, it's going to be scary. So we're currently switching hosts at the moment to Gogebic, so that should also help them out, maybe with some ping. So we're going to head to break, folks. When we return, map 2 for our final week of the regular season, we'll be back. Stay tuned. Welcome back in, everybody. If you're just joining us, currently Laredo is up 1-0, and you didn't miss much. It was a very, very quick hard point. It was almost a perfect hard point. It was 1 second of it not being. The final score on that was 250-1. The most dominant hard point that I have ever seen in like a casting, like professional, semi-pro, collegiate level ever. That is something that you held your head high if you're Laredo. Perfect thing to get going as you head into playoffs. Once again, they're taking on Gogebic Community College for this game. And we are heading into map 2 of an invasion, search, and destroy. Now, this is Gojebic's map pick, so there could be something a little bit different on the offense to begin with. Is going to be the Samsons. It looks like they're going to be favoring towards this A, but already Palominos are in a great position set up. And opening pick as well is going to go in favor of Ben. Oh, but it's a great trade from Shift, so that's going to open up this whole A street, and you can see a lot of Palominos players are shifting. No pun intended. They're refocusing on like how they want to set this site up. Misa has a lot to deal with. Worried about somebody over in kitchen. The drop shots come through. A smoke grenade. That's a great play. That's going to allow them to get some control on the bomb site, but they checked the wrong side. Flumper is going to get picked. However, Dulivo is caught on an island over by the fire truck. So after those shifted kills, it's going to be all up to Audi. And they know exactly where he is, over on Showers. He's got a lot of work to do. The bomb is down. Do the Palominos? No, it doesn't really matter. And just where we left off on the hard point, it's going to go right back to Laredo College. Now, this is a defensive favored map. So, with that in mind, that does kind of, and it was a close round. It came down to a 2v1. So, Gogebic does look better in that sense. Shift with 2 kills. But I like to see from the offenses early rounds because nobody has score streaks. Fly up B Street and tack out ice cream in that shop and the little road. That's what I like to see. And now Palominos are playing very hesitant. Oh, no. Well, excuse me. Palominos were on the offense to begin with. And they won that. I had it all flipped around in my head. And now they're playing. This is new. Just as rarely as I've seen a 250-1 strategy, everyone, yeah. Okay, so it looks like the lobbies were incorrect or some settings. I was like, why is everybody like hiding away in their base? We're going to go to a quick break while we try to figure out what the tech issue was on that search and destroy. Don't go anywhere. I'll also keep you updated if we're going to hold that first round into the score. But currently, 1-0 on the series count for Laredo College. Alrighty, folks, we are back underway. So it shows 0-0 on your scoreline, but Laredo does have a round. Both teams have agreed to it. And if he's shooting in the air, that makes me think that there's another issue with the settings. Everyone's also hitting out towards mid. So yeah, that's going to be another issue with the lobby settings. And it should be another tactical restart on the round. Yep, so I'm not sure what we're still trying to... Honestly, we don't even, me and production were kind of discussing right there what the issue was. We're not sure. I'd imagine we're going to have to reset this lobby as well. Unless if, I don't know, this... Gogebic just wants to run in circles around mid-map. But to be honest, after that 250 to 1 hard point, anything's possible. I mean, the lobby's still not ending, so...
I think they were manually bringing this on.
Oh, I see what's happening here. They're just giving Laredo the round so that we can go back to what was what. Okay, so we got Laredo on the attack and Gogebic on the defense, because that's what they agreed to. They're like, all right, Laredo has round 1, let's reset. And then they just gave them that round so the score line shows up correct. And right back to where we started, Dill with the opening pick, and it's going to be B control completely given up. That one player, Flumpered, was kind of the guy who's trying to hold it down. There will be someone caught in the crossfire, but in the end, bombs down. It's a 3v3 retake. Gogebic has to do the heavy lifting. It's a good setup from Palominos. They got someone with the bomb. They got the street covered. They got ice cream covered as well. And they have Audi kind of covered off. And he's overstepping his boundary because he has to wait for his teammates to maybe try and make a play as well. Now it's all down to Jesus. And he's got so much work to do. They probably know where he is because he also threw a nade. So they have some inkling. The doors have also been open, but they probably didn't hear that. It's not going to matter. A free bomb site. The Palominos take an offensive round win. Offenses are semi-difficult to come up with on Search and Destroy defense, or excuse me, offense for this map, specifically on Invasion. So Smiley with the flick on to end that round. So now, Gogebic, what is the response like? We kind of talked about this at the end of map 1. How good is the leadership? How good is the coaching? Is there a way where you can salvage the mentality of Gogebic after such a dominant hard point and get them to maybe lock in? What even is the message? Like, what are you telling your guys to try and bounce back? I like this hit from them. They're now hitting this B site, and they're going to throw a lot of attacks at it. Trophy systems, I believe, are not there. I don't know if they saw Smiley cross, but look at how many players are reconvening over from Palominos to this site. There's 2 players now on the B bomb. We saw Misa come over and he got picked. So first blood goes away with Gogebic, and they're slowing it down. I kind of like this. It's like letting Palominos see what they have in store, and then Gogebic will punish accordingly. But as I say that, Flumpered loses a crucial 1v1. Still doesn't get out with his life. So the trades are going the way of the Samsons. Now you're starting to see Ben rotate to come over and support Smiley, but still, Audie's going to be the first line of offense. He got it all tripped up, and he can't get it to go. That's such an unlucky kill. Now, the bomb is down over by the tank, and Smiley's in a great position over in back concrete. 2v2, 30 seconds on the clock. Gogebic has to make the move, and with this bomb down, it doesn't make it any easier. Ben is worried about his flank. He's worried about anything that could be happening. It looks like they're going to try and separate Smiley with another pick, and his efforts are going to give this round towards Palominos unless if Jesus has something special. It looks like he's going to be holding, man, Smiley. If I'm not mistaken, that was an ace and a 3-0 round count. Yeah, give him the ace. Huge round for the Palominos as they secure a big lead. And now you have to ask those questions of Gogebic. What can you maybe do? I love the initial play to try and take control of the street, but honestly, in the end, it was a little lackluster, you could say. Now, what's it going to be for the Palominos on their attack? So you can see Gogebic's adjustment is to put more numbers over towards the B side so that they don't take for free. And a grenade kill as well. That's big. You go up a man advantage on the defensive round. Kind of what you want to have for Gogebic. Flumpered the trophy system more secures his position at mid-map. But an MPW in mid-range is not the ideal weapon. But up against the Renetti, it's going to help out. A trade comes in from Audi, and he's going to chase this down. That was a big kill from Audi. And now Gogebic is starting to show some life in this series. There we go. It's that opening pick from the grenade, and then they just played the trades from there on out. And Audi was the big reason for this. Looks like he's on a keyboard and mouse because you can see those flicks that he has, which is a rare input selection. Usually you see the controller favored in Call of Duty. 3-1. Palominos still in control, but Gogebic showing some life after a hide your face type of hard point. And there's some indecisiveness as they roll out a spawn, and it looks like they're going to continue with this B push, but what's going to be the response from Palominos? Because there was a moment where Gogebic could have won it. See, they've gotten barely over towards Treehouse. Oh, Dill. He is the opposite of what Gogebic are. He is very aggressive and already in their spawn. Shift is worried about it. Has to kind of snake the top hookah half wall. And Dill, he smells blood in the water. He tastes blood in the water. Kills are going to go back and forth on the objective, but it's going to leave Shift in a 1v3. They roughly know where he is. Not going to really happen for him as Palominos players collapse around him, and that's going to be a 4th round for the 6-0 team. What a great start from Laredo after, I don't even know if we can call that round a speed bump that Gogebic had. It still feels all of the Palominos. 4-1 is our round count. We've been seeing a lot of B. A has not been the favorite site, and this is interesting for Gogebic. They put a lot of pressure on this middle. They're trying to force out anybody that comes over by the cafe kitchen side of the map. Ill has the pinch, however, and that makes everyone on Gogebic think that it's where A is happening. However, Audi is still over by the B bomb site, so there's smokes. There's a kill over on A. A lot of confusion coming in from Gogebic. They're like, hey, what's going on? Are they planning B? Are they planning A? They finally know now as the bomb goes down to 2v4 retake for Gogebic. But Jesus has snuck in through the mid-cut lane. He will find a pick, but he should be found out soon. That's going to happen, and now Shift in a 1v3 once again. This should be a 5-1 round count. And I've only ever seen 1-5 come back in MW3 so far this year in a competitive setting in terms of the round count. Is this something that Gogebic can do again? The bomb, he doesn't have enough time to get there. You can see a lot of Palominos players flying at him just for fun at that point because the round was secured. And they get the kill as well. It's going to be 5-1. Like I said, I've only ever seen this once in the MW3 season in a competitive setting. A comeback of this proportion. And it's a little bit more gargantuan after that map 1 and the imperious record of Laredo. Can the team from Texas close this out with a dominant 6-1 scoreline, or is there going to be a response from Gogebic? They were indecisive last time on their attack. This time they look to go towards A, because that's where the bomb is going, and Lumper tries to make a pick from his spawn, but gets a little overzealous and gets picked as he leaves the safety of where he started the round. And Palominos, they are feeling themselves right now. I kind of talked about this at the end of map 1. It's very difficult to kind of stay locked in and competitive without having fun and maybe going for kills and losing that competitive edge of it. We're starting to see this from Palominos as they charge into Gogebic's base. And now, that on top of that, it's going to conclude with a finisher. Palominos are going to go up 2-0 on match point for our final game of the regular season. One more map remains. Deluvio 10-3 to his name on this takedown. Wow. Absolute dominance coming in from Laredo at the moment. And is there anything that Gogebic can do? Karachi Control. Control is probably the most confusing game mode, especially on Karachi last year in competitive scene. I mean, if we look back to the previous year before MW3, is heavily defensive favored. This year, especially on Karachi, it's so chaotic in terms of you never know who's going to win the round. Sometimes it'd be off. Most of the time it'd actually be offense, sometimes defense. But I still feel like we're going to be seeing Laredo come out on top. We're going to go ahead to a break while we try to get this lobby set up. When we return, we've got potentially the final map of the regular season. Don't go anywhere. Well, you think Call of Duty would have their game fixed by the end of the year. Well, we're still dealing with crashes, but we are back with a current score of 2-0 in favor of Laredo. And I see you guys in chat, so I searched up the video on how to pronounce Gogebic. I pulled up the first thing. It was like a tour video. I was still confused by your pronunciation guide, Gogebic. I was like, is it Gogebic? Is it Gogebic? We're going with Gogebic. If you guys have another problem, it's cool. Just put something in the chat. And the fact that Gogebic is still AFK in their spawn, I would imagine we're going to be going with another restart. I wonder what it is this time, folks. Are we on the wrong side? That could very well be it. I'm not sure, but you guys want me to keep entertaining you. So you guys have to talk to me. So obviously, I'm newer to the junior college level of competition. I do other collegiate casting, and it's specifically Call of Duty as well. So you guys have to fill me in. Is Laredo obviously like this, or are they playing to a different level today? You guys should give me like some little details about that. Also, message to chat. Tell me maybe a little about your schools or what schools you guys are from. It's always interesting to hear from you guys. But yeah, our score currently is 2-0 for the Palominos. Yo, thank you for telling us. Oh, Grass. Yeah. we have ended again, which is insane. It's another day we're running around. And we were also delayed for the start as well. So it's just that's just how production goes. It's just how it goes in this realm. You're always just waiting, and there's always some sort of technical problem. I mean, let's talk about BO6 really quick. The Codcaster in that this year is also not doing very well. It's also very difficult to work with. Like the A and B objective just shows up as like this little like pinpoint geoguesser looking thing. It's really difficult to work with. And that's just like where we're at. It's not just Call of Duty either. Like every time you do a production, especially in the esports world, there's always like a computer that you have to worry about with, or what's the term? You can help me out, Guffy. You can talk to me. That's my producer. I know I'm breaking the fourth wall right now. It's DDoS, or like when everyone logs in on the same IP band. Like you get IP banned because everyone's logging in at a LAN event. Like there's so many different things that can happen for a production. And today, guess what? That's what we're dealing with. What's the issue here? Yeah. You can come to Cam, Guffy. I'm just breaking the fourth wall now at this point. I'm just trying to keep the viewers entertained. So, hey guys, we're back. If you guys didn't know, my name's Red Roke. Yeah, some gas coming in for Laredo. They belong in a different league, in your opinion. Undefeated for a reason. I mean, yeah, you guys are. I mean, 250-1. I've never seen that. I never seen that in a competitive scene. That's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is right now. It's another crash. So we had some players previously. I'm not sure who it was in the. I think it was Smiles, if I'm not mistaken. Who crashed previously. This time around, I'm not sure who it is as well, but we do have another crash that we're trying to work with. Okay. Gogebic. Is it Gogebic? I don't know. Gogebic. I'm getting different things now thrown at me. Okay, that's a pronunciation. It's pronunciation. So right now, Bank, the delay is for another crash on the stream. We're currently, I don't know who crashed, but somebody did crash. I'm not sure. So we're waiting on that as well. And dude, on the first map, I didn't know Smiles was Smiles because his like name was just it was, what is that? The equal sign and the bracket. I didn't clock that that's an actual Smile, so I'm like, I don't even know how to address Smiles getting a 3-piece on hard point. That's the other fun thing about working in esports is people have these really long names, and sometimes there's like no spaces, or it's not even like their actual name they want to go by. And you have to decipher it very quickly when you work with them for the first time. It's like, okay, that's the guy we're looking out for. And then you're like, wait, where's their gamer tag? What's going on? Oh, it's a completely different gamer tag, or it's a difficult gamer tag just to begin with. So yeah, Smiles, I apologize, bro. I didn't know that was your name until when we were in between map 1 and 2. I was told like, hey, by the way, that's Smiles. Yeah, 250-1 is absolutely insane. Well, here's the thing. I've seen that you guys have dropped some maps. So obviously there's some flaws in the system. I don't know if there's subs that day, or if, I don't know, maybe someone's roof caved in. But like if you guys are dropping maps, then you have games like that. There's a huge difference because I mean 250 to 1 is stellar, absolutely stellar. But yeah, if you're just joining us, Laredo is currently up 2-0 on our final game of the regular season here in the central of NJCAAE. NJCAA. Dude, that's a mouthful. NJCAAE. I mean, they did hit like rotations too. It was just they were fighting like old, they were fighting new. It was insane. Like that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, oh, maybe just try to out rotate them, and you would look at the new hill, and they were already there. So I mean, you're not wrong. Termination. Sure, you should make that rotation. It's easier said than done though. Like, they were there, but it was just an absolute stamping. My producer's telling me to go to break, but if you guys really like, some people, you know, they got the TikTok. I have it too. Before I say anything, the TikTok like attention span, and they don't want to see a BRB screen. They want to be entertained, which is fine. I mean, pull this up and then pull Jinxie up on the side. That's what I would do. But you know what? I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. Or who's live right now that's in CoD? Go watch Scump. Just pull this up simultaneously. And then when you, yeah, Subway Surfers, that's a good one. Guffy, put Subway Surfers up. The what's the videos where they like do like the satisfying things where they clean like a driveway or something? Just some sort of like cleaning thing that people watch. Nah, but it's all good. We're here. I love when Smiles crashes and postpones the game. Well, you are just instigating right now, Devil. Or Develin. I don't know how to say. See, that's another thing. Like, you never know how to say some of these guys' names. But to be fair, I have one of those names as well. Like, some people think I'm Red Rock. That's the most like annoying thing I get. I mean, my name's Kyler too, and everyone thinks I say Tyler when I first say my name. It's like, oh, Tyler, and it's like, no, the only person that ever has had my name in the history of Kyler is Kyler Murray. Like, that's the only thing I can like call back to. It's like, hey. So I get like these confusing names. Like this guy's name. I don't even know how to say your name, bro. Yukai, Gogebic, Gogebic. It could tell you. Yeah, well, I'll stay on cam. I'll stay on cam. For you guys, I want your opinion. I did this thing the other day for a Call of Duty stream where if you guys have seen Ted Lasso, then first off, shout out you. I did like a whole skit. I don't have the sunglasses on me right now, but I wore like the Ted Lasso visor. I'm not gonna put it on fully, and I had like a mustache. I felt like it was the goofiest thing, but my co-caster kept telling me to do it. I felt weird the whole time. I did like a Kentucky accent, and I said, "Be a goldfish, Sam." I don't know what I said, but it wasn't good. Anyway, what good is a rotation is if you can't hold the rotation. But I mean, here's the thing: is from Gogebic, we saw different looks. They tried 4-stacking P2. That didn't work. They tried rotating. That didn't work. They tried hitting ult. That didn't work. It was just absolute dominance, honestly, from Laredo. It's nothing I've ever seen. I did notice that there's also PC player or key and mouse, I should say, from both of these teams. That's another thing that's really interesting. You rarely see a lot of controller. So that's another thing to maybe look at. You said it the first time. UK.
No,
Okay,
Yuki.
UK.
Like
Yuki.
key, like a thing you
Okay,
unlock a door with.
See, thank you, production. Yuki. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Did you go to my high school? Because I knew another Kyler, Termination. I've known 2 Kylers in my life. The Kyler Murray and the guy I went to high school with, and then myself. So 3, I guess. You knew 2 Kylers in high school. Yeah. Well, obviously you would recognize me. So you obviously didn't go to my high school. That's crazy. Yeah. Put their Instagram in the chat. I don't believe you. Yeah, I've never known another Kyler. You spelt it right too. Like, oh, okay. Well, there's another Kyler in the Call of Duty League, Hook, but he spells his with like Cuyl. How does he spell it? I'm googling this now. He spells it. If I just search up Hook, okay, it pulls it straight up. He spells it. Yeah, I was right. Cuyler. That's weird. They need a Christmas miracle. I mean, it's just about. I think there's another thing that you have to worry about is we're in the BO6 era right now too. Like, how much time are these guys putting into that game, and then have to transfer over? I mean, Omni movement alone, that's a huge adjustment. They don't have that in this game. Like, is that a big thing they're having to deal with? Is Laredo still locked in. That could be a big thing. It's like if Laredo's still actively practicing and trying to keep up to date on MW3, and maybe I have to really think when I say their team name now. Gogebic. Dude, that name is Thank you, production. Gogebic. Sorry, guys. How much time is Gogebic putting into BO6 versus how much time are they putting in MW3? I think now that is actually a very interesting conversation, and we will be having an interview afterwards with the winning team. So stick around for that. That's probably something I will ask about, is that transition from going to BO6 back to MW3 and concluding the season on that title. You're in Arizona. I'm in Utah. Well, I'm from Utah. I'm in Florida now. But so, hey, I guess not the same high school, but it's close. I hear gameplay going on. What's going on? Oh, we're live. I was low the Twitch chat. I didn't have Discord. We're on control, folks. It's going to be Palominos who are on the defense. And this position right now from Dill is so crucial to starting anything. And you can maybe begin some spawn traps. There's still some players out towards Chicken. You got Adi, who might be able to escape. I think Ben's going to pick this up. Yeah, they know something's up. And you can see Dill turn around. That's not good. As soon as Adi dropped, that's probably going to be a spawn trap. Flumpard has made it out. Can Dinkle maybe do something? That's Granada. He's going to drop down to 54 HP. He kind of escapes with his life. Dill didn't even react for a second there. So kills are going to keep going in favor of Palominos, but the spawn trap is semi put on. It's not a complete spawn trap right now, because there is a little bit of room for Gogebic to work with. Still, there's not a lot of time to clock. They haven't even stopped it once. Palominos was super aggro getting out of spawn to kind of hold them past the 50-yard line. Well, Flumpard will get in just for a moment. Shift is the only man with kills right now due to his name. They've come in that one life, but as I say that, he gets ripped by Ben. But folks, that's going to do it. I mean, Gogebic does have a chance to get onto this A objective, and they will. They could stack this. It looks like they will. They're trying to stack, but there's just death from above. And that, whoa, hold on a second. Adi does get a kill, but it's just a delaying of the inevitable. Palominos only drops 3 lives in their defensive round. And I talked about how kind of crazy sometimes this control has been in MW3. We have actually, I wonder what the statistics are, but I figure that it's probably like 66% win rate for the offensive team. So not great from Gogebic on that front. So yeah, that's an interesting termination. You say one of the Laredo guys has already the dark matter. So who knows? Maybe they are just putting a lot of time into both titles, or just continue grind nonstop. So obviously the Palominos are like that this year on this title. Looks like it's going to be a B hit this time around on the Palominos. And I don't think Gogebic is going to be ready for it this time around. You see Ben, he's kind of holding this cross off with Dill. And that's going to be a trophy system on the objective. Ben's already on a killing spree. The domination continues. Adi gets burnt by Smiles. And that should be the objective completed. Just like that, Ben shuts it down again. He hasn't died yet. On a 7th spree. Cruise missile in the back pocket. You see Adi at that half wall get shut down as well. And A objective being controlled. Now, what does Laredo go for? Well, they're going to go for a score streak. I feel like it's just like, hey, let's just see how many kills we can get. They're not stacking the objective just yet. Dill, I don't know how he didn't die. He could have given a fist bump to the cruise missile that hit right in front of his head. Just one player on right now, so that allows Laredo to kind of push up on the map. They're trying to make sure that Gogebic doesn't wrap around the side of the map. They're kind of keeping them contained over towards the bottom left side. It's good map control right now from Laredo, and that's also going to be the second round. And it just feels inevitable at this point that it's going to be a Laredo win. They've only dropped 2 maps all season. These guys are unstoppable at this current moment in time. And this final match of the season just feels like it's a testament of what they've been doing so far in their undefeated year. So it's another defensive round from Laredo. We saw an effective spawn trap from the last round. Misa, 11-0. He also has a cruise missile. And you know what was really cool? We saw that little player graphic that we saw during the video, I should say, during the BRB. That was really cool to see. And honestly, me and that producer were like, that's so cool that they make that type of stuff. for their team. And, you know, you can have the excuse of like, hey, we're just a junior college, but they have some really cool stuff that they're doing, and they are just running riot as well in Call of Duty MW3. Misa still cannot be stopped. We talk about in BO6, the skill-based matchmaking time to kill. It feels like it's right here in this lobby right now, especially with Misa. He's 13-0. Gogebic is just struggling at every turn. They have gotten a tick. Actually, have they? I can't tell if they made progression towards B. Smiles now on his killing spree. Still, will Misa die? I think that's the question here, folks. Keep that. What's the over-under? Or, I don't know. What's the likelihood of that happening? I mean, well, Caster's curse, folks. If you never believe it's real. Misa drops. I was like, is he going to die? Is he not? He finally is going to fall. It's difficult to get this spawn trap going, although it's easier than other maps for this one. It just takes a clean early wave of kills, and then bam, you're kind of stuck in it, and that's what Gogebic are going through right now. Laredo is just up close and personal, but if you get too close, sometimes it can spawn behind you. That's not the case so far. Laredo is keeping their distance, and Gogebic are getting cut at the crossing line. And that should do it. 10 seconds remaining. A double life advantage. Score streaks being called through the sky, and it's about to rain upon them. 2 from Smiles. Wow, what a performance from these guys. 3-0 in the control, 3-0 in the series, and a perfect season for the Palominos. The Horsies neigh on through the Central Division, and that will conclude, folks. We will be having an interview. Now, I'm not sure who it will be with, but we will be trying to get Laredo in ASAP Rocky. But man, oh man, Misa 16-2. Smile 16-2. Ben 13-2. And honestly, 10-6 is like quadruple negative for Palomino standards, but still, even with the 10-6 line, it's an all-around team performance. Watch out the rest of the league as we head into playoffs. These guys mean business. Palominos. That 250-1 arched hardpoint I still is the most spectacular result, probably. That's definitely a defining moment for these guys. 3-0 over Gogebic. GG's. That will be the Samson's final game as well, obviously, in the regular season. And we prepare now for playoffs. So keep your eye there. And it's get to the end, folks, of MW3. I mean, depends on how you look at it. We are at the end of MW3. We're at the start of BO6, but for junior college, not just yet. Not just yet. So let's see. I believe we do have a interview ready. We have Manny or Diluvio ready with us. I see you're muted, my friend. Manny there. Can you hear me, my boy? What's good?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How's it going?
Good, man. I was calling you Dill on stream. How do you say your name? Is it Diluvio?
Yeah, Diluvio.
Well, I'm gonna call you Manny, bro. Hey, congratulations!
That's
I said a little joke there. 10-6 is almost like quad negative, but it doesn't even matter.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You guys mop the floor. Let's go back to that map 1. 250-1. Just I talked about it a little bit. You have to always stay locked in too, because if you try to like, oh, let's just do Renetti, you get into a mindset when you're winning that much of like,
right,
maybe we can just mess around. How did you feel your mentality was throughout that whole map 1?
250-1, that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's the most we've ever beaten someone so far. It's just kind of mind-boggling that we're all able to stay locked in with that. And I don't know. I mean, just thinking about it right now, that map 1, like I said, I mean, the 250-1 is just insane. And then playing through it and seeing that we finished 250-1. It's just mind-boggling. I'm kind of lost for words for that.
Well, we were talking about this comparison during the breaks while we were trying to figure out those crashes. We have this BO6 is out, and the chat said, someone's got dark matter. Who said? One of the Laredo guys has dark matter. Is that you?
No, it's Ben. Ben has dark matter.
But I mean, we're juggling with NW3. We got BO6 out right now, and I brought up this point of, okay, maybe these guys are still locked in on MW3. How is it the comparison of trying to still play through MW3 whilst that game is out?
I mean, BO6 is just an entirely different game, especially when it comes to the movement. We have noticed it within ourselves. I mean, we had a forfeit about a couple weeks ago, and we didn't play. We didn't play Modern Warfare 3 for that whole entire week, and we were all just playing BO6. And we did notice it from all of us. We all couldn't move the way we were moving on BO6, and it's pretty hard to do that. But thankfully, we have another school here, TAMU. They allowed us to scrim against them to get our movement back and everything like that. Also, as well as other schools within the league, we've been scrimming with them, and it's helped us a lot to get the movement back. Mostly, I mean, we don't really need to shoot because we're all pretty good shooters in the game, but it's just mainly the movement. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, heading forward into the postseason, you guys finished with an unbeaten record. So congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How do you look to continue this sort of dominance heading into the postseason?
Well, I want to thank our team. I mean, we went 7-0 as being the debut team for Laredo College, for the Call of Duty team. It's been a fun experience so far. This is the first time for all of us where we played in an actual like competitive league aside from like playing ranked within the game. It's been very fun. At times it's humbling because there are other people in the league that are really good, and you know, we obviously expected that. We didn't expect everyone just to be really, really bad or anything like that. But like you said, 7-0, it's insane, and especially being the debut team. It's very, very, very fun. As to your actual question, we're just going to keep playing, and we're going to keep dominating, hopefully keep getting the scrims going with other schools, so that way we can keep our momentum and our movement, because like I said, BO6 is a very different game when it comes to movement compared to Modern Warfare 3, but hopefully we can win ourselves a national championship being the debuting team.
I love it, man. Hey, it's quite a story you guys got going. I loved your touch and your little shout out there. A lot of humbleness coming from you, Manny. Appreciate you, Deluvio, hopping on, but that's going to conclude our broadcast for today. It's Laredo who take down Gogebic 3-0 to go to 7-0 on records, and we head into the postseason. Manny was over the moon. He feels so humbled and impressed by the win, but that's going to do it for our stream today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and until next time, take care.